And New South Wales Premier Gladys Berejiklian announced earlier this week COVID-19 restrictions will be reintroduced to pubs and extended to restaurants, bars, cafes and clubs. John Green is the Director of Australians Hotels Association in New South Wales and joins me live now. John, thanks for your time this evening. Now, it's a Saturday night and New South Wales has been enjoying relaxed restrictions for about 7 weeks now. Now, the announcement earlier this week means as of next Friday, restrictions will be tightened in pubs and clubs back to bookings of no more than 10 people with no standing, mingling or dancing. What is the feelings of pub and club owners in the state right now?
Look, we share the government's concerns. That's why we went to government earlier this week and set out that we wanted to tighten the restrictions around contact tracing registers, around the sanitisation, so the COVID hygiene marshals. We just wanted to make sure that we could do as much as we could to prevent a Victorian-style shutdown, just to make sure that we could keep the economy going, but actually ensure the safety of our patrons and our staff.
Now, the pandemic is putting enormous strain on business owners. They must be finding the yo-yoing of rules very stressful. What are you hearing from members with regards to how they are coping?
Look, as you said, since the original shutdown back in March, we've had no less than 5 different public health orders. But we understand that this is a very dynamic environment. We thought we had it under control. I think that some patrons and some of our venues started to get a bit complacent. We thought it was okay to go out again. But this has been a wake-up call for us. So they understand why we're doing this. They understand why the restrictions have been tightened at this stage, because they just do not want to go into another lockdown. The cost of the economy, the cost of the businesses for another shutdown would be devastating. We had about 94% of our staff stood down or laid off back in March. We've got about half of those back in work at the moment. We don't want to see those employees out of work again, nor do we want to see the mum and dad pubs across New South Wales having to probably shut down, and some of them wouldn't reopen again, we fear.
And on that note, obviously we saw a massive outbreak of coronavirus at the Crossroads Hotel in Cashoola in southwest Sydney. That was from just one person, of course, travelling from Melbourne. Do you feel like it's only a matter of time before hotels, bars and pubs in the state are closed again?
No, I don't. I think that by stepping in with government and putting into the measures that started at our venues yesterday, that start back in restaurants and clubs from next week, that we can try and manage this outbreak. This is about controlling any outbreaks, and the contact tracing system that the government has put in place, and particularly New South Wales Health, is the key to this. That's why we've moved to making sure those records are in digital format, so they can be easily read by health and those experts in the contact tracing field, so we can try and prevent another shutdown, because we just, as I said, that would be devastating for us.
And John, what is the AHA doing to help business owners in the industry overcome the challenges of social distancing and COVID-19 restrictions?
Look, from the very start of this back in March, we've been putting information out to members. We've been having regular we can't do it in person, so we've been having Zoom meetings with all of our members right across New South Wales. We've been providing the material, the contact tracing registers, the conditions of entry, all the information on what they need to do. And obviously with the New South Wales government's COVID-19 safety registration process, it just means they're getting up-to-date information just to make sure that they achieve social distancing, that they have these COVID-19 safe and hygiene marshals in place, that they're complying with the law. And we've been working closely with New South Wales Police on this too. And it's been beneficial for the majority of the state. Most of them have been doing what they need to do.
Unprecedented times for hospitality, John. Will we ever return back to normal?
Oh, look, standing, having a beer, talking about nothing in particular with mates is something I think everyone's looking forward to, but it's not going to be an easy task. We're, particularly in the CBDs and in Sydney in particular, where large businesses just aren't going back to work at this point. They're still working from home. There's not likely to be the same Christmas parties we expect. So it's going to be a long time, a long, hard road. But I think if we comply with the rules, if we feel unwell, if we don't go out in public and we get tested, I think we can continue to manage this.
John Green from the Australian Hotels Association, thank you for your time this Saturday night.
Thank you.